It is a hot day in Martinsville, Virginia, home of the virtual Martinsville Speedway, presenting you with round number 6 of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season. It is the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 here from the paperclip. It is currently 90 degrees here at the track, a track that is already tough to race on, but now you have to throw in the heat, playing a factor, and a factor that will not only be on the drivers, but the pit crews on pit road as well. It is 220 laps, a short track, beating and banging here, about to take place with 38 cars on the starting grid. Daniel Suarez, the Monterrey, Mexico native, will start on the pole, getting the pole in qualifying, the first ever pole for Trackhouse Racing. Denny Hamlin, who has a very strong background here at the paperclip, starts on the outside of the front row. Joey Logano is another former Martinsville winner. He will roll off third with another Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet, the one of Ross Chastain, making up the outside of row 2. Now, yesterday we saw a great doubleheader with the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series last night, and I think we're going to get quite a show here today with these new next-gen cars. Now, these new cars, they never raced before, so we have no idea what to expect. And that's going to be very exciting from a spectator's point of view. 5 races are in the books for the 2022 season. Ryan Blaney took the checker flag last week in Atlanta. And he also took the point lead in the regular season standings as we take a look here at the playoff grid. Blaney joining Hamlin, Almirola, Larson, and Truex. Locked into the playoffs. You see the 99 of Daniel Suarez, your pole center. He's on that cut line, 16th. And he's ahead of 2 big names, Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman. Have kind of had a slow start to the season. Those are 2 names that you would expect to jump above that cut line any week. We have a lot more stories to cover as the broadcast goes on, but first we got to take a break here, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, the drop of the green flag is coming your way here live on the 4Wide Broadcasting Network. Getting set to go green this time by. Down below your starting grid will appear. Let me see where your favorite drivers will start here today in Martinsville, Virginia. It is the 99 of Daniel Suarez on the pole. The 11 of Denny Hamlin on the outside. You have 2 cars having to go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments after qualifying, and they were the Hendrick duo, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. So they were going to start both on row 5, but now they will start deep in the field. Stage 1 is lap 75. Stage 2 is on lap 140. But for the meantime, Daniel Suarez brings us down to the green flag, and we are underway here at the paperclip. Now, a big goal for the drivers on the outside is to quickly try to find a way down on that bottom lane, on that inside. Hamlin up top trying to find a way behind the 22 or maybe behind the 99. That's the 22 of Joey Logano. He's going to make the pass on the 11 of Hamlin. Now the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He's going to take a look to the inside here, entering turn 3. Behind Harvick, though, is a teammate to the 11, and the 11 sideways in turn 3 and 4. I was going to say the 18 of Kyle Busch may cut his teammate a break here, let him in, but Busch gets to the inside here in 3 and 4. Behind him, there's that 42 car of Ty Dillon trying to work his way on the inside of the 14 of Briscoe. Chastain's not been able to make the move to the bottom of the racetrack, and you see the 14 gets loose in 3 and 4. Chase Briscoe sideways, and when you do that, all that's doing is hurting that right rear tire. You want to try to protect that right rear tire so you can have a little bit more momentum as this run goes on, but as we go back up to the front, though, it is still the 99 of Daniel Suarez leading the way on Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and now Ross Chastain takes over that 5th place. As we look a little bit further back, there's the 20 of Christopher Bell. On the outside of the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Bell trying to get down low. And Reddick right there behind the 42 of Ty Dillon. This 19 car, Martin Truex Jr., he was very fast in practice, but did not really get the lap he was hoping for in qualifying. But he looks very strong here early on, trying to make a pass on the outside of the 43 of Eric Jones. And now Reddick's gotten to the inside of the 42 of Ty Dillon. Further back, there's the 2 of Austin Cindric making his first start at Martinsville. In a cup car at least. Corey LaJoie in the 7th. He's been pretty fast all weekend at Built Bar Chevrolet. There's that 48 of Alex Bowman. There's a 24 William Byron. A little bit further back here. Remember, we had 2 cars go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments, and there's the 5 of Kyle Larson behind them, the 9 of Chase Elliott. Remember, you definitely want to try to make as much time as you can early on, because with it being a short track, it only takes about 20 seconds to get around the track. And very quickly, if your car is not really handling the way you want it to be, you can put a lap down here very quickly. And right now, Suarez trying to drive away from the 22 Logano, but Logano not letting him get away. I mean, he's been kind of around just under half a second ever since the green flag came out. Kevin Harvick not too far behind in 3rd. Kyle Busch and Chastain, Briscoe, Hamlin, Reddick, Eric Jones, and now Bubba Wallace, the top 10 single file. Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric. First battle on the track is for 13th place. Alex Bowman has it. Ryan Blaney wants it down here in turn 1 and 2. Blaney has the preferred lane, and he's going to make the pass here off turn 2. Maybe, depends if Bowman will give it up entering turn 3, and he does. So move Blaney up to 13th place. Now Bowman will try to fight his way back to the inside. He has room to get in front of the 31. That's Justin Haley for Colleague Racing. Bowman still running that outside lane. He may want to get down before that 31 takes advantage of the 48 being up the track. And I thought the 19 was moving up, but now the 19 appears to be dropping back. That probably has to do with the outside lane just being stuck up top, not being able to get down. But I do believe as this race goes on, you may see that outside lane improve as the race goes on. We saw in the truck race, and we saw a lot in the Xfinity race last night. Ty Gibbs, John Hunter Nemechek, they were able to make that second lane work. They were making a lot of speed as they were doing that. So that is something to watch out for here in the early stages of this race. Right now we are working on lap number 15 of 220, but remember stage 1 will be at the end of lap number 75. The top 10 will get stage points, and the stage 1 winner will get 1 playoff point that they will carry all the way through the 2022 season. And as you see from the up ahead of the 99 of Suarez, we already have a few cars not too far from going to lap down. We got the 50, that's Kaz Grala, the Money Team Racing, about to go a lap down. We got the 15 of Garrett Smithley, also right up ahead of our leaders. Further back, 6th place, Denny Hamlin out to the inside of the 14 of Chase Briscoe, and you see the Hamlin getting the run on the inside lane, trying to get around the 14. Behind them, the 8 of Tyler Reddick's gotten clear of the 43, and now trying to set his sights on the top 6. Behind him, the 43 of Eric Jones. He's been very quick all weekend, and he was very optimistic about his car here this afternoon. And there he is right now in P8 at the moment. And we got a couple of more Toyotas running out the top 10. Bubba Wallace, a 2-time Truck Series winner here, and Christopher Bell, who misses the corner completely there in 1 and 2, rounding out the top 10. We saw Hamlin trying to make the pass in the 14 to Briscoe. I believe he got around the 14, but the 14's been able to get back by the 11. So Hamlin remains in 7th place. And now we're already getting into some of that lap down traffic, and here comes the 99 of Suarez around the 50 of Kaz Grala, but now the 22 Logano. He sees an opportunity. He's going to have to try to take it here, and he does. Logano to the inside for the lead. Suarez got stuck behind the 50 of Kaz Grala. And that's going to lose him the lead to the 22, Joey Logano, your new leader here in Martinsville. Third place now beginning to heat up, the 18 of Kyle Busch. He was able to catch before Kevin Harvick, who got stuck in behind the 50 as well, but now Busch has to try to maneuver his way around these slower lap down cars. Chastain 5th. Now Hamlin finally makes a pass on Briscoe for 6th. And you see, we will often see drivers, when they get in the lead, they'll kind of pull away a little bit. But once they get, into traffic, that's when you start to see second place, third place begin to really close in and make up serious time on the leaders, because these lap down cars, they're finding hard to stay in the lead lap, because if they can catch a caution before they get put a lap down, they're going to stay in the lead lap. Obviously they're going to fight the leader a lot harder, as the 22 puts the 55 of J.J. Yaley lap down. But right now, though, that 22 Logano, he's gotten around the 99 of Suarez, and he's been able to put some distance between himself and that 99. So Logano looks to be very strong here once he got around Suarez for the lead, and now going after his satellite teammate, the 21 of Harrison Burton. There was the number 78 of Josh Williams, also going a lap down. Williams ran the Xfinity race last night. And next car to go lap down will be the 51 of Cody Ware. Tyler Reddick and now Eric Jones have been able to make a pass on the 14 of Briscoe. There's a 23 of Bubba Wallace looking to the inside. I have to try to go high to get around the 50 of Kaz Grala and Smithley. These lead lap cars, they would prefer the slower cars to give them the inside lane, but Smithley, the 50 of Grala, they're staying on the inside. They're not giving up that inside line. They're making all these faster cars pass them up high, and that's their right. They have a right to run whatever lane they want on the track, even though it may not make some of their competitors very happy right now, but they got all these guys stacked up back here. The 24 William Byron, you got 48 of Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr.'s back here, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, the 2 car. There's Justin Haley back here in the 31, Cole Custer, some more former Martinsville winners back here. A couple of former champions, Kurt Busch, the 45, Brad Keselowski in the 6. And talk about, that 5 of Larson and the 9 of Chase Elliott. They've been following each other up through the field. Right now, they are currently 23rd and 24th on the track. And they've been able to put some cars between themselves and the 22 Logano. So before Logano even thinks about putting Larson or Elliott a lap down, Logano's gonna have to try to make his way around the 47, the 38, the 34, and so on. So they have been able to create quite a buffer between himself and leader Joey Logano. Fourth place has now changed hands. Denny Hamlin's got around his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate, Kyle Busch, and now Hamlin trying to get around the 78 of Josh Williams. He's also been able to get around the 1 of Ross Chastain, and now Reddick and now Briscoe going after the 1 of Chastain here off turn 4. Chase Briscoe. I tell you, really, all of Stewart-Haas Racing have had speed here this weekend. You have Harvick and Briscoe inside the top 10. Cole Custer, he was fast in practice, just didn't really get a good lap in qualifying. The 10 of Eric Almirola, he's kind of the odd man now, hasn't really had speed all weekend so far, but we're only on lap 35 of the race, so there's plenty of time to make adjustments on pit road, try to make your car a little bit better as this race goes on. Right now, I feel like in stage 1, your biggest goal is just to stay on the lead lap and try to keep as much track position as you can. Got the 15 of Garrett Smithley on pit lane. One of the Rickware Racing cars coming to pit road for a unscheduled pit stop. And Hamlin again misses the corner. That's like the third or fourth time we've seen that 11 car overdrive turn 1. That could give the 18 of Kyle Busch a chance to make a pass here off turn 2. And Hamlin, he was closing in on the 4 Kevin Harvick. Harvick trying to get around the 77 of Landon Castle. Hamlin runs a lower line into turn 3. Now he may have a chance to use the 77 as a pick, possibly. Or he may try to get around the 4 Harvick like Logano get around Suarez for the lead, trying to go through the middle of a 3-wide battle. Hamlin backs out of it. Kind of a smart move there, only on lap 38 of 220, not to... Really no reason to push the issue just yet. Joey Logano, he has put out a pretty good lead, almost a full straightaway on the 99 of Daniel Suarez. About half a straightaway, maybe. He's been able to put the 47 car of Ricky Stenhouse a lap down. He had a great top 10 run last week at Atlanta. 38 of Ty Gilliland, a rookie, a former Truck Series winner here. Also got put a lap down, and now you got the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. You have the 34 Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, all trying to stay on the lead lap here, trying to avoid going a lap down. And right now we got 29 cars on the lead lap as at the moment. Now, as these cars are side by side in front of your leader, that's really the worst case scenario for a leader, is when they're side by side in front of you, because you have nowhere to go. You don't want to make it 3 wide because that's just too risky at a track like Martinsville, especially if you're in the lead. But you really have nowhere to go, and that's when this big lead of Logano is a huge advantage, because he doesn't really have to worry about being over aggressive and trying to get around these two guys at a very timely, at a very he has plenty of time to really try to get around these two guys over a 3.4 second lead. That is incredible how Logano's been able to drive away from everybody else as soon as he got the lead away from the 99 of Suarez. Tyler Reddick had a big moment a few laps ago. He went way up the racetrack. He's now falling back outside the top 10. He was just inside the top 5, or just outside the top 5 a few laps ago. So Reddick's has fallen back a lot. And there was Byron and Bowman nearly making contact. And this is a huge... this is from... and Byron gives Harrison Burton the bump, and Burton goes in the wall. Harrison Burton in the wall off turn number 2. And he's off the pace, and he's gonna put the 41 in the wall. Cole Custer in the wall, and the caution will come out on lap 46. William Byron puts Harrison Burton in the wall. It cuts Burton's right front tire down. Burton unable to make it to pit road, and ends up getting into the 41 of Cole Custer, and Custer goes into the outside wall, and that will bring out our first caution of the day here on lap 46 in stage 1. That is a big break, though, for the 34 Michael McDowell, the 10 of Eric Almirola, the 42 of Ty Dillon. They will stay on the lead lap. The 16 of AJ Allmendinger will be getting the free pass. And last time by, pit road was open, and we had a few guys come down pit lane, and it looks like we're going to have some different pit strategies going on here under caution. We got the 48 of Alex Bowman on pit lane. I saw the 99 on pit road. There's Suarez, the 4 Kevin Harvick also coming down. I know I saw some more cars. We got the 45 of Kurt Busch. on pit road. So we had a few cars coming to pit lane, but I think some of these guys like Suarez and Harvick, they probably expected more cars to come down. They must believe that tire wear is going to be more important than these drivers believe, and they're going to have about maybe 30 laps to try to make up as much time as they can on those 45 lap first tires. But how far back in the pack are they going to be? It was clean and green until the lap number 45 when the first caution of the day came out. The 22 of Joey Logano took the lead around 20 laps into the race, and he'll be the leader when we go back green here in Martinsville. Back live here at the track. Before we go green, I want to show you what happened to bring out the first caution of the day. You see the 24 of William Byron trying to battle his teammate Alex Bowman. He runs into the back of the 21 of Harrison Burton, sends Burton up the track into the wall. See the tire, the damage on the right front. It cut down his right front tire. Burton trying to make it down the pit lane. Unable to do so. Here comes Yaley and Keselowski. Unable to get down low, and Cole Custer was up on the outside, and he had nowhere to go and ends up getting wiped out by the 21 of Harrison Burton. It looked like Burton was having trouble even turning his car down to pit road, even if there was nobody coming down low. That's just a bad break for the 41 of Custer. Here's one more look at it. Entering the corner, and Byron runs in the back of Burton, moves him up the track, and then he finishes him off by putting him in the wall. And it obviously right there that cut down that right front tire. And watch Custer on the outside. Cindric barely gets by, but Custer not so fortunate. Ends up getting taken out, and a lot of damage on that right front of the 41 of Cole Custer. And now, not sure if he'll be able to continue on. I believe he's on pit road right now trying to make repairs. So at this point, just try to salvage the best finish you can for the day for Cole Custer. Joey Logano leads here in the early stages of the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500, working lap number 46 at the moment. Under caution for the first time today after an incident with Harrison Burton, William Byron, and Cole Custer. And we got Logano and Denny Hamlin making up the front row. Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, and Ross Chastain on row 3. The first car on new tires to 48 of Alex Bowman, the 99 of Daniel Suarez, the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Can they work their way up through the field? About to find out with Logano and Hamlin the front row here for the restart. You jump there by the 22 of Logano on the inside. The 11 of Denny Hamlin trying to clear his teammate Kyle Busch off turn 4 to get onto the bottom. But Hamlin had a great run off turn number 3 and 4. He almost got to the outside of the 22 of Logano as the 18 of Kyle Busch looks to the inside for second place here in 3 and 4. Eric Jones, there's the 20 of Christopher Bell in the 20. Christopher Bell, he comes into this race, I believe, outside the top 20 in points. So it's been a pretty tough year so far for Christopher Bell. But right now, here he is trying to take a spot inside the top 5, going after the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Behind them, there's the 23 of Bubba Wallace, the 12 of Ryan Blaney. And that caution was also a big break for the 5 car Kyle Larson, the 9 of Chase Elliott. Larson, I know, was not that far away from going a lap down to our leader Logano. Cole Custer, after everything that went on with Cole Custer, I believe he was able to stay on the lead lap. If not, he may be 1 lap down. And we have the 48 car on pit road, Alex Bowman. 48 of Alex Bowman making a unscheduled pit stop here on lap 52. And that is a huge blow for the 48 team of Alex Bowman. Trying to get to his car. And we have the 41 on pit road and the 21 of Harrison Burton. So Alex Bowman, who felt like he had a fast car, he was pretty, he was running top 15 before that yellow came out. Now having to come to pit road. And when you have to pit under green at a short track, you're going to lose 2 laps regardless of how quick your pit stop is. And Bowman already 2 laps down in 36th place. 41 of Cole Custer. It was a report of a tire, possibly a vibration on the 41. They brought him down pit road to repair some of that damage. Remember, Custer never even came down pit road. That's the crazy thing about Custer's situation is he never came to pit road, and he never lost a lap because caution laps do not count. Once the caution comes out, the laps are not being counted. So Custer never even got bit by getting wrecked. The problem for him was the damage he suffered, and now he's having to pay the price coming back down pit road. I believe he was speeding last time by, so he's going to have to serve a pass-through penalty for Cole Custer. The 21 of Harrison Burton now back on track. He is 4 laps down to leader Joey Logano. But Logano has some company, though, in his rearview mirror is the 11 of Denny Hamlin now. Trying to make a charge at the 22. Logano has been leading for the last 40 laps or so, and right now trying to hold off Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch third, Christopher Bell, and the 43 of Eric Jones. You have 3 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers in the middle of the top 5, and you have 2 former JGR drivers at the front and back of the top 5. Then 6th place, the 14 of Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Ross Chastain, and now Justin Haley has now climbed into the top 10. That's Celsius number 31. As for Alex Bowman, Bowman has to be on the mission. He has to try to get around all these guys in front and get around that 22 Logano. If Bowman can get one of his laps back before the stage break at lap 75, he could have a chance to get back in this thing with getting a free pass down the road, but losing that second lap is going to be that could impact their race significantly. As the 41 of Cole Custer comes back onto the track, and he comes out at a pretty bad place on the track for the 11 of Denny Hamlin, because he had to run a higher lane in 3 and 4. That costed him a little bit of time, but now Custer, though, should have some fresher tires to be able to get around that 22 of Logano. Oh, he's going to come back to pit road. Some more trouble on the 41 of Cole Custer. Still trying to repair some of that damage on the 41. Plus, he was speeding just a few laps ago, so more trouble for the 41 of Cole Custer. I also want to update you on 2 drivers who came down pit road under that caution, Kevin Harvick and Daniel Suarez. Harvick and Suarez, they have not really made a whole lot of progress. Harvick's just outside the top 10, so he's made progress, but not as much as I believe he was expecting. And Suarez has not gone anywhere in that 99. I believe he's probably lost a few spots. He has newer tires, but he just cannot go anywhere. And I think this is just showing that tires may not be as big of a deal as we were expecting, as Harvick tries to work his way around the 12 of Ryan Blaney on the outside. That is 11th place on the track between Harvick and Blaney. Kyle Busch has now gotten around the 11 of Denny Hamlin for 2nd, and Eric Jones has now driven by the 11 for 3rd place. So great run here going by the 43 of Eric Jones. And now Chase Briscoe trying to take 4th away from Hamlin. And I believe he's going to do so here off turn 2. Now the 20 of Christopher Bell right there. There's that 48 of Bowman that we were talking about. He's about 2 seconds behind our leader, Logano, with 10 to go. He has to try to get aggressive here and get up there and pass that 22. But the problem is there's too many cars between himself and the 22. If he didn't have all these guys to worry about passing, he'll probably be okay. But right now we have about 28, 29 cars on the lead lap. The 16 of AJ Allmendinger. He was the lucky, the free pass under that last caution. Right now, the 3 of Austin Dillon currently in position to get the free pass here when the caution comes out on lap 75 in the stage. And you have more, and as we got lap down cars, more cars coming to the 22 Logano. How is that going to play out for the 22 in terms of trying to stay in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch to win this stage? I mean, Kyle Busch sees the stage win right ahead of him in that 18 car. How can he try to use these slower cars as a opportunity to make a pass on the 22 as we got 6 laps to go here in stage 1? Briscoe and Bowman side by side. And that is huge for Bowman. Bowman has time. If Bowman can get around that 14 and the 43, he has something. He's stuck on the outside, though. He's stuck on the outside. He can't really. There's not as much grip up there, even if you do have newer tires. And now Bowman's going to try to get around the 43 of Eric Jones up top. 5 to go here in stage 1, and the 18 has closed in on the 22. And now the 40 has gotten around the 14 now. Drives to the outside of the 43 of Eric Jones as Kyle Busch makes a pass for the lead. And Bowman into the back of the 22 Logano. The 50 of Kaz Grala getting in the way of the 22. Jones is going to take second. Now Briscoe going after third place. And look at Bowman going 3 wide. Logano up the track. Christopher Bell down low. William Byron also on the inside lane. And Logano is going to give a little shot to the 50 of Grala to get him out of the way. And now Jones. We're not done yet, though. Eric Jones going for the lead here now on the 43. Kyle Busch stuck in behind the 55 of Yaley. Briscoe up the track. There's the 20 of Christopher Bell. 2 laps to go now for Kyle Busch. And I believe Alex Bowman's chance at getting that lap back may be over now. Because he's just stuck in behind these cars. Now they're side by side, which is even more frustrating for the 48. And he's going to go 3 wide again on the inside of Briscoe. And he puts the 14 in the wall. Briscoe gets put in the wall in the 14. And he's going to get turned in the wall by the 22. Chase Briscoe in the wall. The caution will come out. And that is going to end stage number 1. Contact from the 14 and the 22 and the 48. And another Stewart-Haas racing car has had his day ruined after contact from another competitor. There's the 14, Chase Briscoe. Look at all the damage on that right front. On the right front, on the front end. Got damage on the left side. Look at that left rear corner panel. God, what a heartbreak for Chase Briscoe. He was having a terrific run inside the top 5. And tough break there for Briscoe. Oh, I believe he just hit the wall again right there. The inside wall. So the caution comes out. And the 3 of Austin Dillon should be getting the free pass. Now, Yaley, Bowman, and Grala, they should have a chance to take the wave around here if they choose to do so. And I'm surprised Bowman's going to come down. I mean, this is a perfect time to at least get a wave around, but Bowman's going to come down pit road. Maybe, I would assume that there may be some damage on the 48. That's why he's coming down, but 18 of Kyle Busch, he won the race off of pit lane, I believe. Eric Jones and Logano, William Byron and Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Justin Haley, and Kevin Harvick. The top 10 off pit road. And let's go back and take a look at how stage 2 ended, or stage 1 ended, and it did not end with the green and white checker flag. And what's ironic about this is this another Hendrick car putting the bumper to another car that takes out a Stewart-Haas racing car right there. Bowman puts the 14 of Briscoe in the wall, and it cuts Briscoe's tire down right as Logano was looking to the outside, entering the corner. And Logano turns the 14 into the wall. Remember, Byron gave Harrison Burton the bump, and then he finished him off. And right here, Bowman finishes Briscoe off right there into the wall. And look how quickly it cuts down the tire as soon as he tries to get on the brake to make the corner. And Logano was there. And Logano got some pretty good damage out of that. Look at the right rear corner panel. It's a tough break for Logano, who at one point looked like he was going to win the stage, and all of a sudden he barely grabs any stage points. But stage 1 in the books here, and now under our second caution of the day, and now we have 2 Stewart-Haas racing cars with damage on the track. But it's the 18 of Kyle Busch, your stage 1 winner here at the Paperclip. Getting set to begin to stage number 2 here at Martinsville. Here's stage 1 results. Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Ross Chastain, your top 10. Kurt Busch kind of came out of nowhere to get some stage points. So good job for the 45 team. Austin Dillon got the free pass. Chase Briscoe has taken his car to the garage area, so Briscoe is done for the day at Martinsville. But time for the restart. Kyle Busch, Eric Jones to front row. We're back underway. And Logano, remember, he had some damage here, able to make some repairs to the car. Didn't only lose any positions as well. I mean, he's still up here in third place, battling the 24 William Byron. That's right now the top 2 single file now. Battles on for third place between Logano and Byron. Byron trying to find a way down on the inside. Bubba Wallace now up the track off turn 4. They can allow the 45 of Kurt Busch to try to take a shot at the 23, his own teammate. Going after a spot here inside the top 5. So Kurt Busch getting quicker as the day goes on. There's the 31 of Justin Haley having his best run so far in 2022. And there's that pink number 99, Daniel Suarez. Remember, he started on the pole. Was running around top 5 until that first caution came out. Then he gave up his track position to come down pit road. And he did not go anywhere. And he came back down this prior yellow and was able to pick up a few spots, but still not where he was earlier in the race. And there's the 4, Kevin Harvick. Also the same situation for the 4. Kyle Larson has been able to make some serious gain in that 5 car. Has now driven just outside the top 10. So Larson getting faster as this run goes on. Ryan Blaney, haven't really seen Ryan Blaney or Martin Truex Jr. show winning speed yet today, but they're back here just towards the back half of the top 15. 17, Chris Buescher back here. The RFK Racing 4. No, look at Hamlin sideways again up off of turn 4. Tyler Reddick, he had a fast car earlier in the race. He's now mired back in 19th. Chase Elliott is back here in 20th. Keselowski 21st. Almirola 22nd. Allmendinger, McDowell, Ty Dillon, and Austin Dillon. Those are the 26 cars on the lead lap. And the tough break for the 41 of Cole Custer. He is now taking his car to the garage area. So 2 cars are out of the race, and they both happen to be out of the Stewart-Haas Racing stable. Custer and Briscoe done for the day as the top 5 single file trying to, really, I guess the top 10 or 11 single file, but Kyle Busch not driving away from the 43 of Eric Jones, and Jones getting pressured by the 24 of William Byron, who kind of missed turn 3. I'm very impressed with how the 22 Logano was able to have the speed he does after some of the contact he had earlier with the 14 of Briscoe. I mean, that 22 still looks pretty good. If he can just get some clean air, Logano may have a chance to. He still has a shot in this race. Kurt Busch, he started all the way back in 30th place. Definitely, no doubt, the biggest mover of the day so far is his 45 of Kurt Busch. Right now in 5th place, Bubba Wallace. We talked about him earlier, being the 2-time Truck Series winner here. Having a good day in 6th. Christopher Bell 7th. And a great day so far for Justin Haley. That Collie Racing Chevrolet inside the top 10 in 8th. Chastain and Denny Hamlin. He's now falling back to 10th place here on this previous restart. Suarez 11th, Harvick 12th, Larson 13th. That's the first battle on the track right here between Larson and Harvick. Harvick's going to take that spot away now. Here comes the 19 of Truex. Working down low on the 5 of Larson. Further back, Chris Buescher trying to make a pass on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. And I still believe one of the fastest cars on the track is his 48 of Alex Bowman. I believe if he could just somehow get back on the lead lap, he has a top 5 car. If he can just get some track position, because it's hard to go anywhere. Like even if you have a fast car, even if you have a car that's good enough to win the race, it's still hard to make a pass. Especially the further you are in the back, you're in that dirty air. You're in traffic. I mean, there's just chaos back here. And you see LaJoy now trying to pounce on the 9 of Elliott. Keselowski down low on the 10 of Almirola. Working right now, lap 91. Stage 2 will in on lap 140. And already we're not too far away from getting into some lap down traffic here for the 18 of Kyle Busch. And it's been a very up and down year so far for driver 18, the Candyman Kyle Busch. He had a terrible start to the year. Poor run at Daytona, poor run at Fontana. I don't believe he finished well at Las Vegas. I believe Phoenix was his first solid race for the 18 of Kyle Busch, and then he had that 43 right behind him, Eric Jones. He's outside the top 16 in points. I believe he's outside the top 20 in points actually. So he's obviously hoping for a good day. There's the 24 William Byron trying to make a pass on the outside. And a pretty good run off the corner too for the 24 on the outside of the 43 of Eric Jones. Further back, you have Logano getting pressured by the 45 of Kurt Busch. And Bubba Wallace getting pressured by the 20 of Christopher Bell. And now the 18 of Kyle Busch working around the 50 of Kaz Growler to put him another lap down. The Money Team Racing making their second start of the year. Actually making the first start of the year, I believe, in the race. They attempted the 500, but they failed to qualify. And Busch now trying to get around the 15 of Garrett Smithley. He went high down at 1 and 2, and he's going to have a nice run off the corner. I thought for a moment that may be a option for Eric Jones to take the lead away, but now Byron working on the 43 for second place. Behind them, the 45 Kurt Busch. Right behind the 22 of Logano, and Byron makes a quick dive down low to get around the 15 of Smithley. But now the battle is on for 4th place, Logano and Kurt Busch. Logano takes the higher route. Busch follows him up top. Kind of missed the corner on corner exit, though. Can't change lanes in the middle of the corner. Just not that easy. Just not that easy to do. And that's kind of what the 45 did there. He knew he was going to get Held up by the 2 cars on the inside. Kyle Busch now getting around the 51 of Cody Ware. Now we'll set the sights on the 78 of Josh Williams, and there's Harrison Burton. Remember, Burton was involved in that first caution. He had to make some, I believe he made 1 or 2 pit stops under green. And I'm not sure what happened to Kurt Busch, but Logano has gapped the 45 by over a second. In fact, Bubba Wallace in this battle from 6th place on back, they have now caught the 45, almost. But now Christopher Bell down on the inside of the 23 of Bubba Wallace. There's Haley. Martin Truex Jr. now moving up in that 19 car. It's the highest he's been all day in 9th place, going after Haley and Wallace. He may get 2 spots here in 1 lap for Martin Truex. He got around Haley in 1 and 2. Drives it down deep into turn 3. Maybe able to get the 23 here on corner exit. And side by side for second. And look at Byron through the middle in the 24. Taking second away from Eric Jones. I got pretty dicey right there for a moment. See the 77, Laney Castle's in the way. The 51 of Cody Ware. 78 of Josh Williams. Jones trying to navigate his way through these slower cars. Here comes Logano up top. Kurt Busch has now cut this pack again in the 45. And there's the 20 of Christopher Bell, the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. That 19's gotten faster. That 19's a lot quicker now. But this is what the 18s love to. He loves seeing these guys get slowed down with some of these slower cars, because he's been able to put some more distance between himself and second place on back, as William Byron is now the new guy in second place. And Logano up the track. He gets sideways off the corner. Here comes Christopher Bell in the middle. 3 wide. Truex down low. And the 22 gets the bump to the 78. Williams up the track. He saves it. He was dirt tracking it, but he saved it. And Williams keeps it off the wall. Great job by Josh Williams, as that could have been another disaster for some of the guys back here, like the 12 and the 31. But now up here at the front, though, it is still Kyle Busch in front of the 24 of William Byron. Eric Jones is now third. Kurt Busch and Christopher Bell is now your top 5 here on lap 107. Last time by, Byron was a little bit quicker. And look at the line Byron is running. That's what we saw a lot last night in the Xfinity race with Ty Gibbs, who was able to drive over 5 or 6 seconds ahead of second place. And that's the line Byron is running right now. And look at the time he is making on that 18 of Kyle Busch. And many drivers said after the race last night that they tried to run that same line Ty Gibbs was running, but they just couldn't do it. They just had no grip. But right now, Byron has the grip, he has the speed, and he's going after that 18 of Kyle Busch for the lead. Here off turn number 2, he's going to have a run down low, entering turn number 3. For the lead on lap 109, Kyle Busch up high, William Byron down low, and give the lead to the 24. William Byron takes the lead for the first time today here in Martinsville. To be Jones now third. Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney out of nowhere has gotten through all that mess behind them. Look at all this carnage back here. I mean, that is so tight. Look how far back Logano has dropped from the 22, and the 11. The 11 is pretty deep in the field now. The 15 is on pit lane again, Garrett Smithley. But Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney, they ran out the top 5. Christopher Bell 6th. Kyle Larson is now 7th. Martin Truex 8th. Kevin Harvick and Bubba Wallace. There's Haley 11th. Chris Buescher. And Logano is just falling back. He cannot get him. He is just not being able to get around some of these slower cars. And you know, remember that some of that damage he had, maybe that damage could be hurting him here on this long run. He's stuck behind that 77 of Blaney Castle. Can't really go anywhere. Elliott to the inside of Chastain. 3 wide behind them. Keselowski in the middle of two lap down cars. An update you on William Byron. He's now already been able to put over a 1.5 lead on second place Kyle Busch already. And that's just maybe 5 laps after he grabbed the lead. So Byron already putting on a pretty good pace here as we have a run now for second place. Eric Jones to the inside of Kyle Busch for second place. A great run here going for Petty GMS Motorsports. Remember, this is a new combination for this organization, Richard Petty Motorsports, you know, pairing up with GMS Racing here for 2022. They brought in a second car with Ty Dillon behind the wheel, and Jones having Jones having a great showing here right now. That in that 43 Focus Factor, new full-time sponsor for Eric Jones and this 43 team as well. Giving them a great showing here right now in second place. Ryan Blaney has now driven up to 4th place in that discount tire Ford. Kurt Busch now in 5th. Christopher Bale 6th. Kyle Larson 7th. And Martin Truex Jr. They've been able to escape the mess behind them. So the top 8 are single file. Kevin Harvick trying to get around that 21 of Harrison Burton. That is 9th place on back. And update you on the 22 of Logano. Logano is now 19th place. And he is continuing. He's falling back. I mean, he's getting passed by a lap down car now. I guess he was probably getting around the lap down car, but still struggling right now in that 22 car. There's Austin Cindric, his teammate, right there behind him in 20th. Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoie, Ty Dillon, AJ Allmendinger, and Austin Dillon, who just got put a lap down again by the 24 of William Byron. And look at the lead Byron has on that 43. I mean, over a straightaway. Byron has figured out that second lane. I believe Ryan Blaney may be running that same lane. It'll be interesting to see if Ryan Blaney can put up the same lap times as the 24, and that could get the 12 car up to at least second place before the stage ends in about 20 laps. These crew chiefs and these spotters have got to be on the radio telling their drivers to begin running that second group, because Byron is over several tenths quicker than everybody else on the track. And he has a bunch of cars right in front of him, like cars inside the top 15 now are about to not too far from going a lap down. Like, they got to be a little worried, but luckily for them, they got about 17 laps before the stage ends as Byron up the track trying to get around the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. And they're having to make a pass on the 50 of Kaz Grala again. Allmendinger, remember, he got the free pass after that first caution came out on lap 40, or lap 45. Now Byron finds a way to the outside of the 16. Blaney has been able to reel in that 18 and the 43. Jones stuck behind Smithley and Stenhouse, who are side by side. We talked about that being a bad case scenario earlier. When you approach two cars side by side, and Blaney may have a shot at get around the 18 here off turn 2. He may be able to get around both of these guys because of these slower cars ahead. And look at Blaney going to go through the middle. Oh, what a pass if he can pull this off. Passes the 18 on corner exit to the outside of the 43 down the straightaway. And that could be that's what Blaney needs right there. The 47 drops in front of the 15. And look at the acceleration off the corner for Ryan Blaney. You talk about a 2-for window right there. The Ryan Blaney's got that line figured out, set by William Byron. And now the top two cars on track are the fastest 2 cars on the track right now. And it's over a 6-second lead William Byron has on Ryan Blaney. And now Byron stuck in behind the 51 of Cody Ware. There's the 78 of Josh Williams and J.J. Yaley. And we may have a caution on the track. Got Landon Castle coming off pit road. Trying to get up. No, caution is not out, but I could have sworn I heard or saw caution lights. But for the moment, though, we are still green here. But now I think we are under caution now. We were hearing possibly for debris. Yeah, the caution flag is out for debris on the racetrack. And that is not what William Byron wanted to see. So Byron will be picked up by the pace car, and the 16 for the second time today, AJ Allmendinger, is going to be getting the free pass. And now, do you pit or do you not pit? Because if you stay out here, you're probably going to have to come down at the end of the stage. But if you pit now, you could stay out at the end of stage 2. We got the 24 coming down pit road. We got the 12 on pit road. We got the 20, the 5. We had a few cars stay out. Eric Jones stayed out. Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace staying on the racetrack. We got Logano staying out. I'm surprised about the 22 because Logano was falling back like a rock. So they're going to stay out here. Everybody else you see staying out or is a lap down or more. Now who's going to win the race off pit road? This could be a very crucial pit stop if you can get out first. And Byron had that 6-second lead. All you needed was just a solid pit stop, and he's going to get out first in front of Blaney, Bell, Larson, and Kurt Busch. The top 5 off pit road, followed by Truex, Suarez, Kevin Harvick, Keselowski, and Tyler Reddick. So a few different pit strategies developing here under yellow. Our third caution of the day, it is for debris down in turns 1 and 2. Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, and Joey Logano stayed out, trying to get this stage win here. We'll have about 10 laps to go. Green flag racing when we return to Martinsville. Under caution here for the third time today. We get the 1 to go signal here this time by Eric Jones, your new leader of the race. He stayed out, as did Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, and Joey Logano. Trying to get some stage points here. Trying to get a stage win. First car on first tires is the 24 of William Byron and the 12 of Ryan Blaney. So we do know that the 43, the 18, the 23, and the 22, they cannot make it on fuel to lap 220. So they're going to have to come down for fuel at some point in this race. I'm just not sure if the call to stay out is going to be the right call. I don't see it being, the winning call. But we're going to find out because the stage win is on the line with about 11 to go here in stage 1. And look at Christopher Bell. Great restart by the 20 of Bell. He's going to get in the 22. Logano goes around. Caution will come out again. Christopher Bell, an aggressive move in the turn 1 and 2. 3 wide on the outside of William Byron. Maybe a little bit of contact between the 24 and the 20. And it sends Bell up into the 22, and Logano goes around. More rear end damage toward the 22 of Joey Logano. He was one of the cars that stayed out. And now it's the damage on the 22. Let's look at this restart again. Watch that. The fourth car on the inside, the 20 of Christopher Bell. He times the restart perfectly. Gets through the gears better than the 24 of Byron. He goes to the outside of the 24. And I believe there may have been some contact between Byron and Bell, and it sends Bell up into the 22 of Logano, and Logano backs it into the outside wall down in turn 2. Able to drive away, but I'm sure he is not too happy with the 20 of Christopher Bell. But here's a look at it from the helicopter view, and watch Bell go to the middle of the 24 and the 22, and watch the contact right there. Byron, a little bit of contact in the 24. It was enough to send the 20 up into the 22, and Logano gets the worst end of the deal. Just staying out, thought maybe that he can still get some stage points, but that's not going to be the case for the driver of the 22. Logano going to be in a hole now for the remainder of the race. We're going to get set to go back green here in stage number 2, but you see we have some new faces out front. The 24, now your leader. That's because Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, and Bubba Wallace decided to come down pit road after this caution, and now they have just given up all of their track position. Look how far back Kyle Busch is, and the 43 of Jones, the 23 of Wallace. 19th is where Kyle Busch will be. I believe more cars also came back down pit road, like Chastain, Harvick, Chris Buescher. So they got a little lucky with some cars coming down behind them, but they're going to go back green with 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. Is William Byron in front of the 12 of Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell right there in 3rd place. Larson and LaJoie. Your top 5, there's Ty Dillon 6. How about another guy that's starting to make some noise here inside the top 10? Pit strategy getting himself up here. The 9 of Chase Elliott is up here inside the top 10. Elliott's going to look to the middle of the 31 of Haley. A little bit of contact. He's always going to send the 34 around. McDowell into the wall. And nowhere to go for the 22 Logano. And the day gets worse for the 22 of Logano. The 3rd incident he's been a part of today. After leading about 20 laps earlier in the race. A lot of damage on the 34 of Michael McDowell. Contact from the 9 of Elliott and the 31 of Haley. It sends McDowell hard into the wall, and now we have another caution here. Tempers are definitely going to be flaring here at the end of this race. You see McDowell obviously not too happy with somebody. And Haley was one of the cars that got some damage out of that. He's going to come to pit road along with the 7 of LaJoie. I believe Haley may have gotten into the wall. I don't see any damage on the right side, but definitely a big hit, though, for the 34 of McDowell. All right, we're going to slow it down a little bit here on the replay. See the 9 of Elliott, the 31 of Haley drifts up the racetrack a little bit. Elliott finds an opening, and he's going to take it 3 wide off the corner. Contact with the 9 and the 31, and the 34 goes hard into the inside wall. Eric Jones just barely avoids the 34, but Logano not so fortunate. The 47 of Stenhouse also got a piece of it as well from the 22 and the 34. But Logano, he's been able to drive away from 2 incidents so far, but number 3 doesn't seem like it will happen for the 22 Logano. He's already taken his car to the garage area, but a tough situation for the 34 Michael McDowell, who's running inside the top 10. But it looks like his race is also over here early at Martinsville. Just shy of the end of stage 2. But William Byron, still your leader, leading here in his Liberty University Chevrolet. You know, it's interesting with all these yellows. We're still in stage 2. We're still trying to finish up this second stage. Remember, caution laps do not count. So William Byron and now Christopher Bell, your front row. Ryan Blaney lost a few spots on that last restart. And how about Kyle Larson now in 3rd place Ryan Blaney in 4th. Ty Dillon in 5th. Chase Elliott, Suarez, Keselowski, Allmendinger, and Kurt Busch, your top 10, as we're going to go back green here with 6 laps to go here in stage number 2. 7 to go. And Byron trying to hold off the 20 of Christopher Bell, who's going to try to find a way around the 24 on the outside without overdriving the corner. But Larson, a nice run on the inside through 3 and 4. And there's Ty Dillon on the inside of the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott came in here 1 point out of the point lead in the regular season points. He was unable to gain any stage points in that first stage, but now in position to get a few here in stage 2. And Suarez, the 99, now battling the 6 of Brad Keselowski. And AJ Allmendinger, who's gotten 2 free passes so far in this race. He stayed out, or he stayed out on that 1 yellow. Up here battling the 45 of Kurt Busch. There's Martin Truex, the 19, the 11 of Hamlin, the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Trying to find his way back. We saw Reddick up front earlier. Do want to update you that the 22 of Joey Logano and the 34 of Michael McDowell are out of the race. They join Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer out, as Blaney now trying to make a pass here on the 9 of Elliott. But is Byron leading the way over the 20 of Christopher Bell. Larson and Elliott, who had to start at the very back of the pack after unimproved adjustments after qualifying, they're now 3rd and 4th. And Ryan Blaney, who started out outside the top 20 as well, now inside the top 5. Brad Keselowski 6, Suarez, Kurt Busch, Truex, and Ty Dillon, your top 10. As they come off turn 4, 1 lap to go here in stage 2 for the 24 Byron. Through 3 and 4, Byron driving away from Bell, and it'll be another stage win for the 24. William Byron wins stage number 2 here today in Martinsville. Christopher Bell will be 2nd over Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney, your top 5. Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Truex, Suarez, and Ty Dillon. I believe that should be the top 10. We'll get a clarification here in a moment, but I believe the free pass should be the 48 of Alex Bowman. So I believe Bowman should get the free pass here on this yellow flag. He'll get one of his 2 laps back. I believe he was 2 laps down. I don't believe we lost another one. So that'll be a big break for the 48 if he can just get one more quick yellow. Yeah, he is 2 laps down, by the way. And the leaders will stay out here at the end of stage number 2 in William Byron, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. That'll be the top 3 when we go back green after the break. Going back to green, this time by with 80 laps to go. The final stage here in Martinsville. William Byron, the leader. Christopher Bell, 2nd. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Daniel Suarez, Martin Truex Jr., and Ty Dillon. That was your top 10 at the end of stage 2. And that'll be your top 10 here on the restart. Reddick, Allmendinger, Hamlin, Jones, and Kyle Busch. Your top 15. And we're going to go back into the Geico restart zone to get us back underway with William Byron leading the way. And we have 24 cars on the lead lap. Alex Bowman got the free pass. He's now 25th, 1 lap down. If he can just get one more yellow, that 45 or the 48 will have another shot here. At least getting a good finish. Remember, Bowman came below that cut line. As right now, his teammates up front leading the way with Byron, and now Larson trying to get 2nd away. Martin Truex Jr. now driving to the inside of the 9 of Elliott, trying to, and Keselowski sideways there in the 6. It seems like if you run that outside lane, if you get a little bit too high in 3 and 4, it just knocks your car sideways, and we've seen that a lot already with the 11 of Hamlin earlier in the race. Three wide off the corner. Oh, a little bit of contact. Jones and Ty Dillon nearly getting together. Well, they definitely got together. Contact with the 43 and the 42. Teammates. That was close. Here's Suarez and Keselowski almost getting contact off turn 4. Now Suarez to the outside of Chastain. Chastain sideways, and Suarez loses some time. There's some more teammates getting together. We saw the 43 and the 42. We saw the 1 and the 99 making contact. Kurt Busch making a pass on the 19 of Martin Truex. That's 5th place. But look at the lead that 24 Byron has built on the 5 of Larson. I mean, once Byron got the lead, it was lights out for that 24. And see Byron, look at the line Byron's running though. He's running that inside line, the dominant, the normal line. He's not running that second lane that he was running earlier in the race that gave him that 6-second lead. And by running that normal line that he's running right now, he is still pulling away over 2 seconds ahead of Kyle Larson. And Bell, Blaney, and Busch with Truex 6th. And now Tyler Reddick has been able to fight his way back into 7th. Top 7 single file. And there's that 18 of Kyle Busch. He had a strategy call that kind of went wrong. They stayed out to try to win the stage. They didn't feel like they were going to win the stage, so they went ahead and took the medicine. They pitted. That way they had as much time as they had possible to try to work their way back up through the field. Right now they're just out barely inside the top 10. This Elliott in the gas a little bit too quickly. He saw him spinning the rear tires off the corner as he tries to fight his way on the outside of the 11 of Hamlin. For a moment, I thought Kyle Busch had thought about maybe making a 3 wide off turn number 4. Thought better of it. Works on the inside of the 9 of Chase Elliott. Remember earlier I said, or just a few minutes ago, I said Byron had a 2-second lead. Well, now it is a 3-second lead on Kyle Larson. William Byron is driving away from the 5 of Kyle Larson. And driving off from his entire competition. I mean, right now Byron is sitting at blistering pace right now, and this is what we saw last night. We saw it with Ty Gibbs. We saw it with John Hunter Nemechek. And now it didn't work out for either one. They had bad luck strike him later on in the race, but right now Byron a 3.5-second lead on 2nd place Kyle Larson. And with how fast Byron's going, I mean, he's already about to put the 21 of Harrison Burton another lap down. Burton got damaged earlier in the race on the lap 45 deal with Cole Custer. And who caused that? William Byron, ironically. Coming up behind him to put him another lap down. So it's got to really make you mad that the guy who kind of caused the accident that ruined your day is now going past you with a 6-second or 3-second lead on 2nd place. And Christopher Bell, I feel like the 20 is faster than the 5 of Larson, because normally when you see a car in front of you that is unable to keep up with the car ahead of them, it means that car is just not up to speed. And right now Larson just does not have the pace as the 24 has, or the 20 of Bell, because he's unable to drive away from the 20. I believe with that 20 and the 12, I believe if any of these cars can get around the 5 of Larson, they may be able to try to maybe chase down the 24 if they feel like they have anything from Byron. But Kurt Busch back here in the 45. There's Truex, Tyler Reddick. Reddick was running top 10 earlier, then he all of a sudden he just fell like a rock towards the back half of the top 20. That's where he ran for all of stage 2, and He's now been able to work his way back inside the top 10. Now Hamlin, the 18 of Kyle Busch, going past the 9 of Elliott. Brian Keselowski, the 6, Suarez, the 99. I did wonder, that one caution with the 22, the caution with McDowell and Logano, Austin Dillon did get the free pass. By the way, I believe I forgot to mention that earlier, but that's how he was able to get back on the lead lap as Elliott gets around the 11 of Hamlin. Now the 18 of Kyle Busch is going to follow him around his teammate here in turn 3. I really thought Denny Hamlin was going to be a lot better here today, but he has speed, I believe, if he was able to get clean air, but I just don't feel like that 11 is that good right now in dirty air as we had the 47 on pit lane. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's been a tough day for the 47 car. And William Byron now a 4.7 second lead. Ryan Blaney has now gotten around Christopher Bell, who has lost several spots. Blaney is now 3rd. Truex now 4th. Kurt Busch 5th. Tyler Reddick going after Christopher Bell for 6th as Bell cannot get around that 21 of Harrison Burton. You may have a chance right here to get to the outside of the 21, but Bell misses the corner. Here comes Kyle Busch underneath in the 18. But all four Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas inside the top 10, but Burton is just so slow in the center of the corner. Like he's just off the pace significantly right now in that 21 car. I mean, Hamlin, right now, he basically almost has to stop behind that 21 of Burton. That's where I feel like Burton should just give up the inside and just let the leaders pass on the bottom. But like I said earlier, every driver has a right to whatever line they want to choose. And second place, they're trying to beginning to heat up again. Larson and Blaney. And we have the 24 on pit road. William Byron on pit road. Trouble for the 24. Coming down pit road under green. Having to give up the lead. The fastest car on track. Trouble for the 24 here and possibly a loose wheel on the 24. And now, just like that, in my opinion, this race is back on for anybody else because Byron was setting just a blistering pace. So that's going to give the lead to the 5 of Kyle Larson. So after starting at the very back of the pack, Kyle Larson is now the leader of this race. Ryan Blaney is now 2nd. Martin Truex Jr. now 3rd. So who would have thought that this would end up becoming the battle for the lead? And it was a loose wheel on the 24 of William Byron. But Byron had such a huge lead, and they were only on pit road for a few seconds, or in their pit stop for a few seconds, and they were somehow able to get out in front of the leader. So Byron is still on the lead lap, even though he had to come down pit road under green. That is a huge, that's crazy. That's something that you never see. But he had a pretty big lead though, and he was able to use that to his advantage. And now his teammate Kyle Larson, you hate to see your teammate have trouble, but at the same time, you are fortunate enough. If you're fortunate enough to capitalize on it, you have to try to take advantage of it. Right now, Kyle Larson trying to drive away from Ryan Blaney in 2nd. Martin Truex Jr. 3rd. Kurt Busch looks very strong right now in 4th place. And there's the 8 of Tyler Reddick now inside the top 5. So moved Reddick back to 5th as Elliott. The 9 of Elliott now trying to get around the 18 for 6. I thought Elliott was falling back earlier, but now he's gotten a little bit more speed now on this as this run goes on, and he just went back by the 18 of Kyle Busch. Right now we got 24 cars on the lead lap. Alex Bowman, the first car, a lap down. Remember, we saw the 47 of Stenhouse on pit lane. He's back on track 4 laps down as well. And there he is. He's about to go a 5th lap down as Kyle Larson has now caught him. And see the brake rotor is glowing on that right front tire. Using the brakes. That's one key of being able to master this track or any short track is being able to manage the brakes, not use them up early. And right now Larson around the 47 and now going after the 77 of Landon Castle, putting him another lap down here. Castle's going to go 5th lap down as he right now runs in 30th place. The 15 of Garrett Smithley has taken his car to the garage area. So Smithley is done for the day in his Rickwell Racing Ford, joining Logano, McDowell, Briscoe, and Custer out. That's 5 Fords out of the race, and definitely not a good day right now for the Blue Ovals right now. Although they do have one guy in 2nd place, that's the 12 of Ryan Blaney. There is your leader right now, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr. We talk about, the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. We have not seen a repeat winner yet this year, in all 3 National Series. Right now, we got 3 drivers inside the top 3 that have a chance to get a repeat win. Kyle Larson won at Fontana. Ryan Blaney won last week at Atlanta, and Martin Truex won that field mileage race at Phoenix. And right now they are 1, 2, 3 on lap 178 of 220. The laps are winding down here. We're hearing that some of these guys may still be low on fuel, so I would expect that these guys are going to try to save a little bit of fuel should we not get a yellow, but I feel like many of the crew chiefs on pit lane say that they should be good to go on fuel. But that is another element to the equation that we're going to have to keep an eye on, is will fuel come into play right now. Kyle Larson trying to pass a 30 of Ty Gilliland, but it's not going to work out in his favor as the 12 is going to take advantage of it, and Ryan Blaney is going to go to the lead, passing the 38 of Ty Gilliland. And Larson up the track. Here comes Truex to try to take 2nd away. So 2nd place now under fire. Kyle Larson up top. Martin Truex Jr. down low. And I believe Larson just lost the grip in that right rear tire. It doesn't seem like Larson has the exit speed that he needs to keep the lead and stay in control of this race. He's also stuck in behind the 30 of Ty Gilliland, which ain't helping one bit. And now Kurt Busch trying to follow suit on the bottom. Trying to follow his Toyota teammate, Martin Truex Jr. Kurt Busch now around the 38 of Ty Gilliland. So all of a sudden is Blaney, Truex, Kurt Busch, Larson, and Elliott your top 5. Reddick, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Hamlin, and Suarez your top 10. Remember that 18 and the 43, they gave up their track position after a strategy call that didn't really work out. And it could have worked out, but they decided not to. They decided to not go through with the plan and just went ahead and came down pit road when no one else did. And old Busch gives a big shot to the back bumper of the 77. Landon Castle gets knocked way up the track by the 18 of Kyle Busch. Now, Donato Chase Elliott working on the inside of his Hendrick teammate Kyle Larson. They're going to go 3 wide around the 38 of Ty Gilliland. And now Blaney has caught the 42 car of Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon he was able to get 1 stage point. They were in stage 2. Right now he's in 24th place. The first car a lap down. He's going to give the bumper. Blaney does to the 42 of Ty Dillon. Blaney kind of overdrove the corner to try and get around the 42 of Ty Dillon. That could help the 19 close in. Less than 40 laps to go here at Martinsville, and Blaney up the track again. And Ty Dillon, he knows if a yellow comes out, that could save his race and help him get a better finish than 24th place. So he has to try to race tough for this. He has to race a 12 car tough as Blaney up top, Dillon down low, and here comes Martin Truex to close. Blaney, Truex. First and second, Kurt Busch. They're now driven off in the 5 of Larson and the 9 of Elliott. It is a Ford, 2 Toyotas, and 2 Chevrolets inside the top 5. And now the 42 of Ty Dillon a lap down, and there's Blaney going after his satellite teammate Harrison Burton, putting him in another lap down. Burton just does not have the pace after that contact earlier in the day. The next car that would go a lap down would be the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, but he's about half a straightaway ahead of the 12. So Blaney should have some clean track for a few laps. And as the 19 and the 45 has to work around the 21 and the 42, this is going to give Blaney an opportunity to focus on putting some qualifying laps down here, trying to build as big of a lead as he can before Truex and Kurt Busch gets around Ty Dillon and Harrison Burton. But right now they're having trouble getting around them because here comes the 5 and the 9 back in the picture. Truex trying to get past both of them on the outside. Kurt Busch continuing to run the bottom. I believe Kurt may have to try to go high on the 42. That's what he's going to do here in 3 and 4. And now Elliott's going to follow the 45, possibly around the 5 of Larson. And now Truex clears the 21 and the 42. So now it is a 2.2 second lead from Ryan Blaney to Martin Truex Jr. Less than 30 laps to go here at Martinsville. We got the 24 again on pit road. William Byron, more trouble for the 24. Possibly another loose wheel for William Byron. And this time he will go a lap down here to leader Ryan Blaney. Elliott up the track again. Larson. Kurt Busch still struggling to get around that 21 of Harrison Burton. And I tell you what, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now is this 43 car. Eric Jones is flying right now. He's up to 6th place. He just got around Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick. I mean, he is completely flying right now around this track. He's even running faster lap times than the 12 of Ryan Blaney. So if we get a yellow, do not count out the 43 of Eric Jones. He has a very fast car right now. But Ryan Blaney trying to drive away. We got the 23 on pit road. Trouble for Bubba Wallace. I believe the 23 may have blew up. Bubba Wallace, and yes, he has. Engine has let go on the 23. So Bubba Wallace is done for the day with 25 laps to go. A tough break for that 2311 racing team, and Wallace done for the day. He came in here inside the top 16 of points. It'll be a big blow for that team as we enter Richmond next week. Look at this big stack up of cars. Reddick, Hamlin, Bell, Chastain, Suarez. The last time we were here at Martinsville, the 11 and the 48, I had a little bit of didn't really had some trouble there at the end of the race. They didn't really see eye to eye what happened. Weren't really too happy with one another. Bowman won the race after contact with the 11 of Hamlin that sent the 11 sideways spinning. And now here they are together again on track. This time Bowman is a lap down compared to Hamlin, who is in 10th place on the lead lap. 3rd place, Kurt Busch. Now, I thought the 45 had maybe something for the top 2, but now Busch driving away from the 9, or the 19 has been able to drive away from the 45, but now the 9 closing in on the 45 for 3rd place. And Blaney is in heavy traffic here at the front. 21 to go, and he's in heavy traffic, and that's what the 19 wants. He wants as much cars to hold up that 12 as possible, and right now, got the 24 Byron, the 16 of Allmendinger. That's the 55 of J.J. Yaley, another Toyota to the 19 of Martin Truex. Or that's a Ford. Never mind. So that should be a help to the 12 of Ryan Blaney. And there's a 3 of Boston Dillon right up ahead in that 3 car. But no matter what, though, the 19 has been able to chase down the 12 once again. If he can just hurry up and get around the 24 and the 55. But now Blaney has to try to work around that 3 of Boston Dillon. is one thing to pass a car that's a few laps down, but is also another thing to try to pass a car that's on the lead lap. And right now, that's what Austin Dillon is, on the lead lap. He already got the free pass, I believe, twice in this race. Right now, he's in 20th place. He's going to go a lap down here to Ryan Blaney. But Blaney needs to hurry up because there's that 19 of Truex right there, trying to take advantage of the 12 if he cannot make the pass on the 3. But the problem that the 19 and the 12 has is the 24. William Byron has fresher tires. He was on pit road. They went ahead and took tires, all 4 tires on the 24. So he should be faster than both the 19 and the 12. Problem is he's 3 laps down. Does he just kind of lay over and let the 2 leaders battle for the win? Or does he try to at least try to get one of his laps back here with 17 to go? Make it 16 this time by. But unless we get a yellow, it appears that we may have a repeat winner here in 2022. Will it be Ryan Blaney or Martin Truex Jr.? Then you have Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott both looking for their first win of the year. Eric Jones has now moved into the top 5. He's gotten around Kyle Larson for 5th place. Kyle Busch is now around the 5 of Larson down. There's Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain. That is your top 10. Looking ahead of our leaders. Right now, Byron has gotten back around the 19 of Martin Truex. Right now, it is a 1 second difference between the 12 and the 19. 13 laps to go for Ryan Blaney. We've had 6 cautions so far, 2 of them being the stage breaks. Byron trying to get around that 12 of Blaney to get him to at least put him 2 laps down. But even if he does get 2 laps down, there's really, I don't really see if there's anybody he can really pass. The 50 of Kaz Grala has also dropped out of the race. It's something that we have not mentioned yet. Grala out along with Bubba Wallace, Garrett Smithley, Logano, McDowell, Briscoe, and Custer. Side by side ahead of our leader, Lanny Castle and Josh Williams. I believe if it comes down to pure speed with no lap down traffic in the mix, I believe the 12 car has the faster car, but the 19 of Martin Truex, can he somehow get around Ryan Blaney, use these slower cars to his advantage? Blaney trapped down low behind the 77 of Castle. Here comes Byron on the outside to get around the 12 of Blaney. And that's what Martin Truex needs. He sees an opening right there on the outside of the 12 of Blaney. He has to try to take it. 9 to go. And Will Truex put the bumper to the 12 of Blaney. And look at Truex trying to go 3 wide. Maybe no. He stays on the inside behind the 77 to Castle. 8 to go. And how will these slower cars, how slow will they get? Or how slowed up will they get? And will that allow the 45 to close in? Truex trying to get around the 77 to Lanny Castle. Williams Blaney trying to get around the 70 to Williams. Truex clears Castle. Blaney still fighting the 78. Now Truex makes a move to the inside of Williams. Coming to 6 to go. This time by Kurt Busch 3rd, Eric Jones 4th, Chase Elliott is 5th. That 43 car is the fastest car on the racetrack, but he has only 5 laps to try to run down Ryan Blaney for the lead. And Martin Truex Jr. right there on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Blaney up high to the outside of the 51 of Cody Ware. Here comes the 19 down low for the lead with 5 to go. '51 of Cody Ware. He's going to have to try to get out of the way here. Let the 2 leaders battle for the win. Ware gives the 19 the outside lane. Up ahead of the 12, we have the 24, William Byron, who has been driving away from the guy, so he shouldn't be a problem. We have the 47 of Stenhouse. He may be the only one that these guys may catch before the checker flag comes out, so this could be it. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex. Here's Kurt Busch third, and Chase Elliott's gotten back around the 43 of Eric Jones for fourth place. A few laps ago, AJ Allmendinger had to make a unscheduled pit stop. He's now on track 3 laps down in that 16 car. And we're here in the 9, maybe running out of fuel. Chase Elliott out of fuel in the 9, coming to pit road with 3 to go. Remember, fuel was coming into play. Fuel was, kind of a concern for some drivers, but Elliott having to come to pit road for fuel for Chase Elliott. And Blaney catching the 47 of Stenhouse, coming off turn 4, the final lap here in Martinsville. Can Martin Truex Jr. mount one more charge on the 12? Will the 47 dictate who wins this race? Blaney trying to navigate his way around one more slower car. Blaney overdrives the corner. Here comes Truex down low. They're going to be side by side off turn number 4, but Blaney will hang on and win. What a finish. Ryan Blaney hangs on, and Martin Truex Jr. comes just short of his second win of the year, but his back-to-back wins for driver 12, Ryan Blaney, a point leader, wins again here in 2022, his first win at Martinsville, and his first grandfather clock for Ryan Blaney. He wins today over Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch. Comes home with a solid third-place finish for the 45 team. Eric Jones gets a great finish in the 43, and Kyle Busch, your top 5 here. And I believe everybody else is able to make it on field except the 9 of Chase Elliott. So one of that might. So I would assume that maybe the 9 just didn't get enough fuel in the tank or something, but definitely a tough break for Chase Elliott after everything that he gone through throughout the course of the day, from having to start at the back. Definitely a big blow for that team. But now the cars will come down pit lane and they will begin post-race inspection. And now let's take a look here at the results. Ryan Blaney led 41 laps and grabs his second win of the year, his first win at Martinsville. Martin Truex Jr. second, Kurt Busch. Eric Jones and Kyle Busch only went through the top 5. Kyle Busch won the first stage. He led 37 laps. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bale, Kevin Harvick, and Ross Chastain. Denny Hamlin and Justin Haley, your top 12. There's Daniel Suarez back in 13th, Brad Keselowski. Eric Almirola gets the top 15. Nice top 20 for Corey LaJoie in 17th. Alex Bowman, who went 2 laps down early in the race, fights back to at least get the top 20. There's Chase Elliott down in 22nd. William Byron, he led 51 laps, the most of anybody. Ends up 23rd. Tough break for the 24. That car was bad fast once he got out in front. AJ Allmendinger 24th. Sty Gillen, rookie in 25th. Josh Williams 27th. Harrison Burton 30th. Ricky Stenhouse 31st. Stenhouse was the last car that finished the race. Bubba Wallace on down. DNF'd. Logano in 35th. He led 49 laps earlier. McDowell, Briscoe, and Cole Custer all out of the race. And now let's take a look here at the points. 6 races in. And now we got our first repeat winner, Ryan Blaney, a winner. And take a look here at who's on the cut line right now. Kevin Harvick jumps above the cut line. 3 points over Daniel Suarez. And now Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain jumps inside the top 20 in points. The first time those two guys have been top 20 in points all year long. Chase Elliott, the highest driver without a win, 83 points to the good. William Byron, 70. Ryan Blaney will exit with an 18-point lead and the regular season points over Denny Hamlin. So that will wrap up the weekend here at the Paperclip. Round 6 is in the books for the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series, and now we will shift our focus to next week, another short track, Richmond. That is next week with the Xfinity Series on Saturday and the NASCAR Cup Series on Sunday. And a week after, more short track racing at Bristol. So a lot more short track racing coming up here on the schedule, live on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys for joining us here for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500, and congrats to Ryan Blaney. He wins today at Martinsville Speedway.